Hey everyone, my name's Abby and welcome to Brown and Bougie, the podcast about me, a brown girl living in a bougie world.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Brown and Bougie. So today I thought I'd talk about going out. Going out being more precisely going clubbing. No one really uses that term, I guess, but the concept of going out is something that we all do. But it's weird because brown people are very kind of secretive about it when it comes to their parents. I guess loads of parents don't really understand what it is. They don't really understand why we do it. They don't really get the concept of it. So it kind of makes sense to kind of just avoid it, lie about it, whatever. So we've all done it. I've done it too. But the older I got, I guess my parents became really okay with it. But I went clubbing for the first time when I was 18. Obviously, if you're from England, the legal age is 18. So that's the first time I went clubbing. And I just thought it was the most bizarre thing ever. Like, as a concept, it's actually really weird if you think about it. Because you go to like a massive room at like 10:30 in the night. Not even 10:30. People really get there for like 12:01. And so you're just awake and you go. They don't give you food. They just give you like... And you have to spend money on alcohol. You spend money to go inside. And all you do is dance. And you can't even converse with someone because it's too freaking loud. Do you know what I mean? The person who told me this was my uncle, because I remember, obviously he said this in Tamil, and this is the one thing about podcasts which is quite annoying because I want to say things in Tamil, but I can't say it because there's no subtitles. I can't really show you subtitles. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, my uncle said to me, I said, oh yeah, you know, we went clubbing and stuff because I think the next day, I went out one day and the next morning and lunchtime, whatever, it was my cousin's birthday. And I got there super tired, super whatever I was. And then he was like to me, he's like, oh, where did you guys go? And we went, oh, I went clubbing. And he was like, oh, what's that? I don't really understand it. And he's like, oh, did they give you food? And I don't know, it just cracked me up. He was like, did they give you food at a club? And I was like, how can someone even think this? Like, this is so bizarre because obviously there is no signs of food like in a club ever. So I was just like, it's so weird because for them, they think we go out. And obviously because we leave, like, you know, you go to pre-drinks or whatever it is, you go at like, I don't know, maybe like 8, 9. I guess our parents and the older generation kind of assume that you're going to eat and like just meet new people. And I'm like, it's such a weird thing when they say it like that way. But I do think clubbing's a bit weird. I think the concept of it, I guess. But honestly, I've probably had more amazing experiences. And I think I can speak for every person who's turned 18, enjoyed that part of life, I guess. For me, every story is an experience and every story is just something to tell, whether it's good or bad, whether or not you've met a random guy and he's hitting on you, or whether or not you've met a girl in the club and then all of a sudden you're best friends. It doesn't matter. Every story is like an experience. And I think most of everybody, if you definitely went to university or even experienced that part of life or are still experiencing it, I think you do have the most stories after a night. And I think for me, the best part of it is going to prees and going out, you know, and on the way, grabbing that kebab, like whatever it is, and then waking up the next morning and kind of like calling everyone or like meeting up with everybody and being like, oh my God, you know, this happened, do you remember this happened, blah, blah, blah. Whether or not people remember it is a complete different situation. But I always find that whenever you go out, even if you go out with your friends and you guys all in technical sense experience the same thing, I always find that everyone's perception and perspective is different, which makes it more fun, right? But I just think like it's weird because clubbing is one of those things that I know that I only probably went because everyone else was going. It was like the cool thing to do when you were 18, right? And if someone said, oh, let's go out, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, yeah, let's go out for dinner. That's not a thing when you were 18. What you would do is you would go clubbing because that's what the cool thing was. And I think everyone at university, for us, like I went to university in Brighton. So Brighton's a very student city. If you've ever been there, definitely go there. It's such an amazing place. And literally every night there used to be some sort of event. So Mondays we used to go to this one club, Tuesdays we used to go to another club, and it was every single day a new club, a new theme. It was just so fun, and it was like a given that you had to go. And I think first year especially, I think everyone would have experienced it, where you just go out and have fun and whatever it is. And a lot of people go to experience new things in different places. So you might, you know, go to different countries and go to different, like, I don't know, cities and things like that. And I think it's weird because I've been out a lot around the world, I want to say. I've been out a lot in Europe. Whenever I go on holiday, me and my girls make sure that we go clubbing for a night or whatever it is. And their lifestyle and the way they do it is very, very different, which is quite cool because you kind of meet new people and whatever it is. But it's the weird thing that I think what I get really weird about is I definitely always prefer like meeting new people at prees, because you can actually have a conversation with them. Like the music's not too loud and you can actually get to know someone. But then once you get to a club, you know, everyone's levels are crazy different and so much is happening around you. And it's like really weird stuff. Like if you look at, like, I don't know, a promo for like a club, like a video or whatever it is, it's like people are making out, people are doing all this stuff, they're like dancing, and I'm just like, it's actually a really weird, nasty thing, but it's weirdly fun. I don't know, it's weird. If you've been out, you clearly know what I'm talking about and stuff. I want to try and keep this PG, but it's quite a hard topic to keep PG. But honestly, like, it's one of those things which I really, really enjoy, and I don't think that, you know, I've never really regretted going out and stuff. So I guess it's each to their own, isn't it, at the end of the day? But I think the one thing my mum always tells me, and kind of, I guess, bringing it to a serious concept, is obviously, like, do be careful and stuff. Like, there are a lot of things in the world which you might not be aware of. And I think this is where I'm not going to say that the brown generation fails, but I feel like because our parents don't talk about things like the bad things about alcohol, drugs, sex, boys, and all that stuff, I feel like it doesn't give us much knowledge. Like, I know friends or, you know, people, I've seen people put themselves in really vulnerable positions because they don't know what's happening around them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I heard a story once where a guy went to a club in Birmingham and his drink got spiked and literally, like, he became paralyzed and stuff. And I don't know, obviously, the details of it and whatever it was. And obviously, this is kind of word of mouth rumors and stuff. But I have heard stories like that, and a lot of things have happened to women and things like that, whatever. So I guess the thing is, have fun wherever you are, whatever, but always be careful. And I think, you know, it's weird that our parents don't talk about it, but I think between us and our generation, I want to say that I want to make sure that my kid knows what he or she are going into when they go into that place, because it is super fun. And it's, you know, everything you do in life is fun, but there's always an element of trying to be safe that you've got to be careful about. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess another thing is, what I've always seen is, I know generally brown people don't do this. I don't want to, like, specifically, you know, class people differently, but I know that people tend to leave people behind a lot. And I know that I went out with a group of friends once and I wasn't really familiar to them. I just kind of had met them in that week and they were like, oh, do you want to go out? And I said, yeah, of course, you know, whatever, I'm 100% down and stuff. And I went with them, and then all of a sudden I just ended up being alone. And I was just like, I don't know what is happening. I don't know how to get home. And I was very, very confused. So I think make sure you go with a good set of friends and stuff like that. And obviously everyone's intentions when they go clubbing are very, very different. People prefer to go back with one crowd over another. And, you know, I want to try and, if you obviously know what I'm talking about, but it's one of those things where you've just got to be careful and always make sure that you are safe in every situation you put yourself in. And I know that sometimes you can give into peer pressure. I know someone who's very close to me who gives into peer pressure more than they should, and it puts themselves in vulnerable positions. And, you know, like, it's not fair to the other people around you as well. You've always got to think about that, because they want to keep you safe. And, you know, you've got to help the situation. You can't just give in to peer pressure every single time and keep drinking, because you'll get to a point where you don't even know what's happening around you, and that's not safe. Because at the end of the day, you are your own responsibility, especially when you're in an environment like that. So yeah, I guess, like, you know, that's obviously on a serious note. But I was just randomly thinking, because I actually went out on Saturday. I went to Dirty Martinis in central London, which, if you haven't checked out, definitely check out. It's a much more of an older crowd, and I guess I've kind of hit that point of life, I guess. But it was such a nice vibe, and I love going out and, you know, having a couple of drinks, being on a really good buzz, and just kind of like just dancing and just having really good time with friends. And I feel like most of my really deep conversations with my close friends, or anyone, to be honest, has been after a night out or during a night out or whatever. And don't tell me you haven't done that, because everyone has. And I think you get to a point where you just kind of probably say more than you should, do more than you should. Yeah, but it's kind of one of those jokes nights. I think if you have been out with me, I've probably done a lot of stupid stuff. I've probably done a lot of funny stuff. And I think, you know, I've definitely learned my lesson of, you know, my limits and things like that, whatever. So always be safe, but always have fun, because it's actually a really good experience to have. And I think if you haven't experienced things like, you know, like a UV party or like, you know, those theme parties and things like that, definitely do it. Life is too short. And I think it's weird because I think the older you get, your body, it doesn't bring to shut down, but I think a lot of people I work with, for example, they're a bit older than me, and they always go, oh yeah, like, you know, Abby, you're such a party animal, and, you know, things like that, whatever. But it's just because like your body's not as like, you know, young and energetic as it used to be, kind of thing. So I used to be able to go out like a good 4 times a week solid. And I used to, you know, obviously you're losing sleep, you're losing energy and things like that, whatever. But the older you get, your body does kind of, it takes me like, for example, like a good day and a half to recover from a solid night out. Do you know what I mean? So I would definitely say that whilst you're young, 100% enjoy it, 100% experience things. Like, I know my best friend went to Thailand and she said that the full moon party was like an amazing experience and things. So that's definitely on my bucket list of things to do. And all of that is around clubbing. It's based on the concept of clubbing and things like that. But always be safe and always have fun, because that's what the point of it is. I could share so many stories with you from nights out and things like that. And I think, do you know, honestly though, thinking about it from like a personal perspective, I think every single time a guy hits on me, if I'm uncomfortable in that situation, I've really learned to deal with it. So weirdly, you're learning independence at the same time. So like, if a guy hits on me and I'm uncomfortable with it, I will literally be like to him, I will be like, I'm really sorry, I'm not interested. And I'll just walk away. And like, as much as it hurts the guy, it kind of, you know, gives you that like a bit, because you don't need to give in. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't. But if you want to, obviously 100% do it. I mean, no one said I didn't, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, like, you kind of learn a lot more about the way you are. And like, I think they always say like a couple of drinks just hit your system and then you kind of become like, if you're a woman, like Miss Sassy. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. So it's completely different for every single person. And I think it's always a fun experience. I know people who kind of weirdly change and stuff, but it's quite interesting to see how they change and whatever it is. But always remember, like I said, be safe. But the most important thing is have fun. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I wish I went clubbing more. I think I definitely clubbed out my early 20s and stuff like that. But it's still something I like to do. And I think weirdly, I prefer now, me and my best friend actually talked about this the other day, that we actually prefer going to like a bar that kind of turns into like a mini dance floor, you know, like it's a bit more chilled, the crowd's a bit older, and like, you know, you're not having a conversation with someone who's just started university. So it's really dependent on your age range, and it really depends on your friends as well. I guess different people like different things. I know some people just prefer the alcohol part of it, some people just prefer the dance part of it, and things like that. But I think one thing that I really do not enjoy going out sober, it just, oh God, it's horrendous. Like absolutely horrendous. And I did this because I'm like fairly religious as a person, and back in the day I used to be like vegetarian on Tuesday, Friday. I actually still do that. So I'm vegetarian on Tuesday, Friday. If you're Tamil, you'll understand why I do those 2 days. But if you're not, Tuesdays, Friday are religious days. Do not ask me why. I will cover this in another podcast. But I am vegetarian on Tuesday, Friday. So whilst I was at university, I actually didn't drink during that time either. So what I used to do is I used to really bend the rules. So I used to basically, and do not laugh at me, okay? Do not laugh at me. But you know, I was trying to please everyone. I was trying to please my parents. I was trying to please God. I was trying to please my friends. I was trying really hard, okay? But the point was, if we went out on Monday night, I used to pre really hard, stop drinking at 12 because officially it became Tuesday. And then I used to stay sober. And then like I wouldn't drink after that. And then I'm not proud of what I did, but I was trying to please everybody, okay? But anyways, I would basically sometimes start my nights off sober, and no one said it was fun. It was just so weird. And I think being sober, the things that you see in a club, it's like, what the hell is happening? It just doesn't make any sense. And if you've ever been sober, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what you see, and it's just so weird. And you remember everything the day after, and it's just not fun. And you're just grossed out kind of situation. But if you've never been clubbing sober, don't do it. Just piece of advice, don't do it. I do know actually some people who actually like going clubbing sober, which I personally don't agree with, but yeah, don't do it. It's just such a weird thing to do. But I guess my point is, be safe, have fun. Life is too short. And if you want to go out on a regular basis, do it. Like completely do it. Do whatever you want. And it doesn't matter if you're older and you still love clubbing, or you're younger and you hate it. It really doesn't matter. But I guess the main point is just have fun. So today's tune of the day is one of my favorite songs to club to of all time. It is one of those bangers. It came out when, I want to say like early 2000s. I'm probably getting this really, really wrong. But Sean Paul's Temperature is one of the best songs you could club to, you can grind to, you can do what the hell you want to that song. And it's literally so amazing. And it's one of those songs which, whenever I play it on my radio, in the car, whatever it is, it's on full blast. And everyone who is born in kind of my era, is that even the word? I don't even know, but it's one of those songs that everyone knows the words to. And even if you don't know the words to the song, you just pretend like you know, because that's what you do in a club. You know, everyone dances the same in a club, but you kind of just sing along. Anyway, that's how I club. But, you know, whatever, each their own. But anyways, Sean Paul's Temperature is today's tune of the day. I hope you enjoy this banger because it's literally one of my favorite songs of all time. And yeah, I guess if you are listening it to on your headphones, in the car, whatever it is, blast it and just sing along because that's what you've got to do with this. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my SoundCloud channel, and also follow me on Instagram at brownandbougie__. I hope you all have a great day wherever you are. I'm sending all the love, all the positive vibes, and stay smiling, stay you, and don't forget to tune in next time. See you soon. Bye.
The girl them skill arty. Shonda Paul, some give it to, some give it to, some give it to our girls. 5 million and 40 naughty shorty. Baby girl, all my girls, all my girls. Shonda Paul say, well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh oh. Because the girl them broke out on the floor. From you don't wanna work as performer. From you don't want a man where can't turn you on. Girl, make I see you when them upon ya. Can't stand for the long, nah eat no yam, no steamed fish, nah no green banana. But down in Jamaica we give it to you hot like a sauna. Well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh oh. Pump expose and girl, you got the chest out, but you know we out, cause girl, you impress out. And if it is out of me, if it is out, cause I got the remedy for make you de-stress out. Me have a flat to become me God bless out. And girl, if you want it, you have to contest out. And a life where we need set speed, if it is, my test out. Well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh oh. Girl, know some crazy now. This straight love it and a Bridget and flavor show. Time to make baby now. So stop boy like you, I get shady, yo. Woman, don't play me now, cause I'm a fritz and fat, not greedy, yo. My loving is the way to go. My loving is the way to go. Well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh oh. When they roll with a player like me, with a brother like me, girl, there is no other. No need to talk it right here, just park it right here, keep it undercover. Come and love how you fit in your blouse and you fat in your jeans, I'm a wild discover. Everything about you, baby girl, can you hear when me utter? Well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh oh. Because the girl them broke out on the floor. From you don't wanna work as performer. From you don't want a man where can't turn you on. Girl, make I see you when them upon ya. Can't stand for the long, nah eat no yam, no steamed fish, nah no green banana. But down in Jamaica we give it to you hot like a sauna. Well, on the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh oh.